Welcome to the 5th episode of the series that I am calling Bag Bag. Beating all Game Boy Advance games. Each game is randomly selected, so I never know which game I'm going to be forced to play next. But without further ado, let's get into today's game. Wake up your neighbors, because today we're playing the Koala Brothers Outback Adventures. Released in 2006 and developed by Sirius Games, Koala Brothers Outback Adventures is a family fun game rated E for... oh, wait a minute. EC. Okay, well, according to the ESBR website, EC means... wait, what? According to Wikipedia, EC means a game aimed towards a preschool audience. And farther referring to Wikipedia, a preschooler's age is typically between 2 and 6 years old. Head on over to your local park and
kidney pap
a wandering toddler so you don't look weird playing the Koala Brothers Outback Adventures. Released in 2006 and developed by Sirius Games, Koala Brothers Outback Adventures is a family fun game rated EC for you and your new buddy. This game consists of 10 mini-games featuring different characters from the show? At least that's what I learned. So as is tradition in this series, I learned that a video game I played is based off of a show or a movie after the fact, during editing. And this one is no different. So usually during editing, I will go and I'll research the game a little bit more to be able to give you the facts and stuff about it that I didn't know while I was playing it. And the one thing that I think is funny is that the Wikipedia for this game, whoever was filling it out just decided to stop doing it. There is a list of all the mini games that you can play, and then there's descriptions about them, and they only bothered to do the first 2. The rest of them just say, this minigame is about, this minigame is about, this minigame is about. So I guess if you really want to know what this game is about, you must watch this video. I knew I was doing these videos for a reason. So like I was saying, this game consists of 10 minigames, and those minigames are Airmail, A Helping Hand, Josie to the Rescue, Archie's Outback Tennis, Postman Alice, Cold Ice Cream, Help from Above, The Koala Brothers Go Fishing, Shopping at Sammy's, and last but not least, Hide and Seek. If it sounded like I was reading any of those from the list, you would be right. So the first minigame that we play is called Airmail. The controls are pretty easy, you just use the D-pad to move, and you can press the A button to do a flip. Your goal is to collect 5 pieces of mail before you get to the end of the level, and if you fail to collect the 5 pieces, you have to start over. Each level gets a little bit harder by introducing more obstacles that you have to dodge, and besides that, it's pretty much the same gameplay. If you hit one of the obstacles, you'll lose a little bit of health, and you can get hit 3 times before you fail the mission. So you never actually had to use the flip button, but I tried it here because I thought I was going to miss this one. It turns out I got it, and did a flip for the style points, I guess. The one thing I did notice is that the flip animation and the way that the plane controls after you press the flip button is really janky. Once you beat all the levels, you are shown this end screen where George the Turtle, hold on, what's this thing? George the Turtle is happily clutching his sack of mail. This next mini game is called A Helping Hand, and all we have to do is control the, well, it says van, but this looks like a tuk-tuk to me. Either way, we have to use the D-pad to control the van and collect the random items that are thrown at us. For some reason, the way that the perspective and everything was, this game was actually kind of hard for me. At least until I got the groove of it. I also totally didn't combine a hang of it and the groove of things. Similar to the airplane level, the first level doesn't have any obstacles to avoid. Later on, you have to avoid rocks and logs, and then after that, you have to do rocks, logs, and oil spills. After beating all the levels, you are presented with this sloth-looking thing staring into your soul. The next minigame is called Josie to the Rescue, and it starts off with this photo of Josie screaming for this little girl. The girl is wandering into the outback and is probably going to be eaten by a huntsman who is 13 times your size. This next minigame is a platformer of sorts. All you really have to do is jump and avoid the spiky bushes in the first level. There are also these fruits, and collecting some of them seems to fill up your health bar at the top corner, but not all of them, so I'm not quite sure what that's about. In the later levels, you have to watch out for these dead trees, and they also change the look of some of the rock formations that you stand on. The later levels also introduce a moving obstacle, which is this tumbleweed here, and then in the final levels, we are introduced to just a larger version of the prickly tree. Getting to the end of the last level, we see the little girl sitting on the ground, not being eaten by a huntsman spider. And then we see this cute little cutscene where she is looking over the city and the sun has gone down. Continuing on, next we have Archie's Outback Tennis. This minigame is actually pretty fun. So all you have to do is move with the D-pad and it will automatically return the ball to them if you're close enough. And once you get 5 points, you move on to the next round. So I don't know anything about this game or these characters, but the second character is this Waldo looking dude. And something that's actually surprising is each character behaves a little bit differently, and I found this guy to be extremely easy. Dude, Waldo is not good at this game. Dude, Waldo is very not good at this game. Like, where's Waldo's skill? What the hell? After Waldo, we have, well, can't see if the Club Penguin mascot's any better. Look, I told you I don't know the characters. And, well, it turns out the Club Mascot Penguin wasn't any better. Sorry, I got through editing this entire video and was playing it back and realized that I said the Club Mascot Penguin instead of the Club Penguin mascot. Our next opponent's that little girl that we had to save, and she's just as easy as all the other ones. The next opponent is this purple koala bear looking guy, and he is hard. That's okay, we just click A and we are back at the beginning. Oh my god, do I have to do that all over again? Yep, you do. After using my newly acquired skills, I finally got back to him and beat him 5-2. Wait, what? You're telling me this koala has a brother? Well, next time they should put it in the title of the game. Look, one of the brothers already humiliated me. I'm not gonna let that happen again. So I beat his ass 5-0. And then we all had celebratory drinks. The next minute game is Postman Alice. Starts off by showing George the Turtle sick in bed, and we have to deliver the mail for him. Honestly, I think it's time that we just fire that guy because he's very undependable. This minigame is pretty easy. You just have to press one button to throw the mail to the left, one button to throw the mail to the right, and you just have to avoid the rocks in the road. If you hit too many obstacles, you'll fail the mission, as well as missing too many pieces of mail. The later levels add some sort of bush tree and 2 more types of rocks to avoid. And when you're done, you see Mr. Turtle giving you a thumbs up. Next we have Cold Ice Cream, which is essentially just a memory game. So customers will come up to the window, tell you which ice cream they want, and you have to scoop the ice cream in that order. The game starts off really simple and then kind of evolves into a more difficult game where the enemies, they're not enemies, where the creatures are now asking for sprinkles as well as whipped cream. Now maybe this game is extremely easy, I don't know. I just struggled with it. I have no idea why. Although there's kind of irony in not understanding why I'm not good at memory games. Oh, sorry, I forgot I was making a video. So anyway, the game goes on for what feels like forever, and then when we're finally done, we get to sit underneath the tree and enjoy some ice cream. The next minigame is called Help From Above, and all you have to do is control the airplane with the D-pad, press A and B to speed up and speed down, and you have to collect enough balloons before the end of the level. This one is actually pretty hard, not because it's actually hard, it's just because the game was misbehaving. So as you can see here, I'm collecting the balloons, and half the time I'm not even close enough to them, but it's still counting them and collecting them with no problem. So we will keep that in mind while we finish this level. So each level ends with a different photo for some reason. This one is the little girl picking up her glasses. The next level is pretty much the exact same thing, we just have to collect more balloons to finish this one. And then this one ends with a tuk-tuk truck, and there's something sitting on the rock. I'm not exactly sure what that is. To me it looks like a purple severed lizard tail, but that's probably not what it is. So remember what I said about the balloons and keeping that in mind? Yeah, so this level just for some reason would not let me capture the balloons, which means I failed. Twice. Eventually I put my gamer pants on and got her done, and we are presented with the Club Penguin mascot reading a map. But don't worry, the nightmare is not over, we have one more round to go with the plane. This one was surprisingly not as hard, and then we're presented with a group photo. The next minigame is the Koala Brothers Go Fishing, and this minigame was so freaking difficult. So the game gives you a list of items in the top left that you have to go fishing for. The fishing line just slowly pivots back and forth, and you press A to launch it down into the water. The first level is pretty easy because you just have to press A at the right time, grab the items, and it comes back up. The second level is more or less the same, and you also can grab the timer to get a little bit more time. Keep in mind if you grab something like a stone, it takes forever for you to reel it back in. So overall, the second level is pretty easy. And in the third level, we are introduced to this new moving obstacle, which is the fish. I also found that sometimes it's not really possible to time it to not pick up the fish, so I think that's why they give you timers and stuff. Either way, easy level, no big deal. This next level is where everything goes wrong. Starting off, we do pretty well. We dodge the fish, we grab the first item, and all is well. We go to cast our second line, we miss what we were going for, and we pick up the fish on the way up. That's alright, no big deal. Let's go get the timer so we can have extra time for this run. And we pick up the freaking diamond rock bullshit. That's okay. That's okay. No panic. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's go for that other clock. And we miss it. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. Let's just go for the main clock. And there we go. We got another 10 seconds. Great. So something you might have noticed is there are certain items in this game that we have to pick up to be able to get to the other items that we need. And something else that you might have noticed if you're a mathematician is it takes us quite a while to pick up these items, and we only have 18 seconds left. So if you pull up your spreadsheet and do the quick math, you will learn that, yeah, there's no possible way for us to make this. But not giving up, I go for the last thing, and if you notice here, the line actually kind of curves to the right and avoids the map that we were looking for. And then of course we didn't make it, and we are shown a too bad screen by these bald Oh, actually that one guy actually had a little bit of hair. So after starting over and getting back to that level, we finally failed again. Okay, so finally, after getting back to that level for a second time, and using all of the knowledge that we have gained, we failed again. Well, you know how that saying goes. At first you don't succeed, try and try and try again. Just a friendly little reminder in case you have forgotten over the past 11 minutes, this game is an early childhood game. It's ages 2 to 6 years old. How in the hell are they supposed to beat this? And because I'm neither 2 or 6 years old, I beat it no problem. Well, some problems, but I beat it. So it's time for a round of applause and a celebration because we are on to the next level. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I was speechless as speechless as I am currently. How? I literally can't even talk straight for how crazy this is. But with me being the pro gamer that I am, I knocked this out with exactly 0 seconds to go. Look, I don't know, I'm not going to complain. I beat the game and we are rewarded with a photo of this freaking penguin. The next minigame is called Shopping at Sammy's. Customers come in, they tell you what they want, and all you have to do is grab it from the shelf and throw it down on their heads. You have to do as many items as depicted in the top right corner, and you have until the top left corner timer reaches 0. The minigame basically stays the same from the beginning to the end. The only difference is different items become available and more customers come in at once. And the final screen is the kangaroo leaving for the day. And the final minigame is hide and seek. All you have to do is use the D-pad to move around and press A when you find someone. In the first level, you have to find one person who happens to be the turtle, and when you go up to them and press A, you discover them. The second level requires you to find 2 people, and so on and so forth. So you will notice that they do pop out a little bit, and that's how you figure out where they are hiding. On the second to last level, somehow I missed someone, and I got to the end and it said too bad, and I had to start all over again. On the last level, I made sure that I only walked 2 steps before pressing A so that I wouldn't miss a single person. At the end, we get a picture of them all enjoying a birthday cake. And that right there marks the end of the game. So here I go back to the main menu and I roll the credits. So that is another game completed. Now at the end of the day, and after editing this video, I think I would give this game a 2 out of 10. I think when I first originally played it, I gave it a 1 out of 10, but I do think it's not that bad. I also have to take in consideration a little bit that it is an early childhood game. It had a couple buggy parts and there was a couple games that were a little bit repetitive, but at the end of the day, there was enough variety that it wasn't the most boring thing that I've played. With all of that out of the way, let's spin the wheel for our next game. And the next game that we are going to be playing is ESPN Winter X Games Snowboarding 2002.